Yes.
Con. All right, Shalom. Start first by giving all praise and glories unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai,
Ba'ashem
Ba'ashem
Rakakadash.
Rakakadash.
Double honor to the apostles and the elders at the great millstone who rule well and are excellent and appointed to guide us and lead us down this path to salvation. And greetings, salutations, and blessings unto the elect, those that are fighting and striving for their salvation, even unto death, especially in these trying times that we're into. All right. It shouldn't be that long of a video, but it's basically gonna be something along the lines of when we should be coveting, especially in the hiatus that we have from work and everything, that we're not really out there going to work every day. We should be coveting after spiritual gifts. Okay, you get on the chats and you talk to different brothers. Brothers are going into stones, into herbs, into better ways to be better brothers, better men, better fathers. A lot of different things that these scriptures will make you wise within. Okay, and so when as I've been seeing this over the past couple of days and was meditating on it the other night, it kind of hit me like, what if, and this is just a question, I'm not, trying to say that this is exactly what will go down, but what if what you sow in the spirit on this side, you reap 100-fold on the other side? Okay, imagine that. And there's your ranking system as far as your works go in the kingdom of heaven. All right, so consider that and run as if you know what that one is. Run that you may obtain.
Yeah.
Baba Kushal.
Is
Didn't get the precept you got right.
Is 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 24.
Okay.
It says, "Know ye not that they which run in a race run all?"
Yeah, you run. Let's read it.
It says, "But one receiveth the prize."
Yeah, and we're all running for that last spot on the chariot. You got to consider it that way. You got to consider it as if it seems like a lot of spots, but as people on earth, it's not. And none of us are promised to make it. Okay, we have to give diligence to make our calling and election sure. So as we're running for this, we have to treat it as if every instant, every moment, every work, everything we do, it matters. Mm-hmm. And it's not just about all the videos you put up. It's about the way you are in the spirit as a brother, the way you edify, the way all of the different things that this wisdom comes into. Okay?
Yeah, if I may state, when the scriptures say to give diligence to make the calling of your election sure, it doesn't just deal with, the amount of videos you're able to put up. It's not really, it's more so, what are you adding, to the ministry? What are you sowing unto your spirit that you may grow in Yahushai, making you, complete in Yahushai.
Right.
Yahushai, when he comes back, all the brothers that are in Yahushai will have to have been built up, and blameless without spot.
Yeah.
So when it comes to being diligent, be diligent in, being a brother. Be diligent in charity. Be diligent
in wisdom. Obtaining
virtue.
And virtue.
And they give you the list of those things until Bubba Gushal.
You got it.
If I can get a quick one.
The spirit moving, bro. Keep moving with it.
It's 2 Peter 1 and verse.
Add up to temperance, virtue. Yeah.
Yep. Verse 5, it says, "And besides this, giving all diligence, add to your faith virtue."
Yeah, because you gain these things through your faith, okay? Because before this coronavirus and this government shutdown where you can't go to work, this whatever they call it, quarantine or whatever, people just walk around doing what you do. But now it's becoming more evident that you can really use this wisdom. Now that we're not at work, now's the time to gain as much of this wisdom as you can. You got it?
Yep. It says virtue, and to virtue knowledge, and to knowledge temperance, and to temperance patience, and to patience godliness, and to godliness brotherly kindness.
And this is all how you want to add these things to yourself so you can distributed. It's not that, oh, look, I'm getting all. The point of having the information is to use it. And if you don't have a direct way to use it, I'm sure there's somebody in the body that can use it. That you introduce some of these avenues to, these wise bits of wisdom and knowledge to, that they can now apply in their daily life. You got it.
And these are the spiritual attributes that you need to actually endure that race.
This is that treasure. This is where the real, you're gonna see. It's not toilet paper and hand sanitizer that's gonna save you. It's not. Those aren't the things of real value. This wisdom is the things of true value. Okay, you got it out.
It says, and to brotherly kindness, charity. And if these things be in you and abound, they make you that you shall be neither barren nor unfruitful in the knowledge of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach.
There it is.
All right. Let me jump down to verse 10. It says, wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make the calling of your election sure. For if you do these things, you shall never fail.
And that's the point. If you really attending to your faith, to your belief, to your salvation, then these works will be evident within you. Okay? So the more you do these things, the more you're making your calling of election sure to earn your salvation.
Yeah, that's part of you letting your light shine forth among men.
It's not to be seen of men, but men should see it.
Yeah.
Brothers should be able to see the growth that you have. Because that's particularly within the body. I mean, you share this wisdom with your family and loved ones or whatever. That's great too. That's a wonderful thing, that they may see you and glorify the Heavenly Father. Because we don't take credit for the glory of this wisdom. We give it all to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So that's a good thing as well. But where else are you gonna give it to 2/3 niggas at the gas station, niggas on the corner or whatever in the hood? What they gonna do with it as they smoking weed and doing whatever the hell else that they're doing? So this is for, that's when the scriptures say, give it known to whom thou doest good. Okay?
It's for the body, man.
Kind.
Back in 1 Corinthians 9:24, it says, know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run that you may obtain.
Yeah, that you may win, that you may obtain. The winners have already won. Okay? We don't know who that is, so run like your life depends on it, because it actually does. Okay? You got it out.
It says, and every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible.
That's right. Because think about it. If you want to be the best basketball player or the best rapper or whatever you want to do competitively, even if it's not in a competitive sport, but you treated it in a competitive nature, that the bar will be raised and that you may abound in that. Do it in this. Okay? You see the apostles and servant brothers out there putting up videos. Hey, challenge yourself. Yeah. Okay? I'll speak to myself first. Right. As much as I understand some of the spiritual brothers that are around you, you be like, damn, how does brother just get so much to just post like this? But hey, that don't mean catch up with him, but do your very best, okay?
Exactly. Because
we all have an amount that we're supposed to sow in the spirit, okay, to obtain. Make sure you do that, okay?
Yeah, he gave each brother a certain measure of faith. Whatever gift the Lord gave you, he gave you a measure to, what he gave you. Whatever it is that you did get, and you got to utilize that to the max, man.
Come.
And this is all for the edification and building up of the body, the church.
Right.
All right. And going back to this verse, it said that every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. And that was one of the key things that was listed when it talks about being diligent. Adding to your faith virtue, knowledge. To your knowledge, temperance. And temperance means what? To have do things in moderation and to have discipline. Yep. Some of these things that we gain is because we have the discipline to actually gain it.
Right.
And it takes time, man.
Right.
So if you do these things, you won't be lacking, you won't be unfruitful. And that's basically what it's about, man. All right, being productive. Yahweh Shai wants us to be not slothful in business, but fervent.
That's right.
Okay, so that was
Is it on that?
that was it on that.
Let me hit this right quick. You got something else to go right now? Get it.
Well, I had the scriptures that I already had.
Okay, let me hit this one. Then we bring down. This is Wisdom of Solomon. I didn't even have this one. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6. Straight to the point is 20. I gotta start up. No. 20 is good because this wisdom is treasure as well. So knowledge and wisdom should be the stability of that time. And strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. Yeah. And if you truly do have the fear of the Lord, and you heard that these prophecies are being fulfilled, and you can see them being fulfilled, you know what the end of this thing is. That it's going to be a very dangerous time that we're in, a very trying time. You would gain all of this for your benefit, and not just for your own benefit, for the benefit of those also around you. Because you may have a bit of information that another brother didn't have time to so to speak upload into his spirit, but now from you he can now get it. Even because especially you gotta know that this internet is not going to be on forever. Okay, they're not going to leave the internet on forever. Okay, so you're not always going to have Google to ask where all this wisdom is at. All right, and how to gain it. So now when we have this time off at home, it's a great time to really be coveting after this wisdom, after these spiritual treasures.
So that you can what? So that you can keep sowing unto the Spirit, so that you may abound.
There it is.
All right, so that you can grow.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Perfect. Let me. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6. I'm gonna go right to the point. Verse 20. It says, "Therefore the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom, the kingdom of heaven." Right? It says, if your delight then be in thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom. And if you consider it, what are we? A nation of kings and priests. Okay, so if we're going to be in that rulership position, we need to have the wisdom. If we're going to guide the 1/3, if we're Lord willing of the 144,000, and we're guiding the 1/3 into the kingdom of heaven, we're going to have the wisdom. All right, because I don't see 1/3 of all the Israelites on earth in the fold yet. Mm-hmm. So I believe they'll come in at the 11th hour, or at the last moment, or whatever the case may be. But the point being, there's gonna have to be those that know and that can lead. Okay, when we left out of Egypt the first time, there were leaders: Aaron, Caleb, Moses, of course. All right, I said Aaron, didn't I? Anyway, and all of them. So consider that there have to be leadership roles, and us gaining this wisdom will define those roles. All right, but it's defined by what you know. Okay, so now's the perfect time to covet after these treasures. All right, it says, if your delight then be in thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom, that ye may reign forevermore. Yeah, and that's the point. Okay, let me see if there's a little bit further. I'm gonna read it anyway, just to drive a quick point. It says, verse 23: "Neither will I go with consuming envy, for such a man shall have no fellowship with wisdom." Yeah, so don't envy the next guy for the amount he has. Just get as much as you can get. Eating food convenient for you. Okay, stay balanced, stay tempered in this thing, stay disciplined. If the wisdom's too high for you, if you can't chew strong meat, it's okay. It's okay. Humble yourself. Pray if you feel like you should be on that level, and the Most High will increase you as He sees fit. And be satisfied with that. Now you got your scripts, bro.
Let me go to. Let me go to 1 Corinthians 12.
Yeah, the things that Paul wrote in these times, man, are monumental, because there's a lot of wayward Israelites. I just want to kind of tap on that and mention. There's a lot of wayward Israelites out there that don't really have the true spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahshua. Okay, so they know some things, but they're not walking in the wisdom because they don't have the full understanding of it all. So they're just putting out there what the little bit they know, and that's fine. But then they start to peek over into things that they don't know, and that's where they go off. Okay, so it's important that us are able to correct those situations, that we may edify, and if that shows up in And the people that you're around, as this thing comes down the way, we have the ability to correct them. Okay? And if they want to argue back and forth, that's not how this thing works. You prove it through the scripture and then you move on. Or strictly through wisdom and experience. And then move on. All right? You got it out.
I'm gonna just get this real quick. This is 1 Corinthians 12 and 1 Corinthians 12 and let's see. I'll start at verse 27. It says, Now ye are the body of Yahushua and members in particular. Mm-hmm. And the Most High have set some in the church, first apostles, secondarily prophets, thirdly teachers, after that miracles.
Everybody has a level, man. Don't always want to be on apostle to heart level, man. Just stay at your level, man. Work your lane, okay? Master that lane, though. You got it, right?
Yeah, these are all different offices or positions,
right,
that
within the body of the church.
It says after that miracles, and then gifts of healing. So you got certain brothers that are physicians.
Yeah.
The brothers, they have a lot of wisdom when it comes to, learn how to heal you of your different ailments, mm-hmm. and tell you what herbs or what substance to take, to heal particular
mm-hmm.
ailments in your body. Right. You have brothers that actually have that gift.
Mm-hmm.
It says helps in governments.
Mm-hmm.
The diversities of tongues. So you got brothers that know multiple languages. So you'll have brothers that'll actually make videos speaking in other languages, because you need that, because Israel scattered amongst all nations, mm-hmm. speaking multiple languages. So we have that in the body.
We're not all guaranteed to catch that the gift of speaking tongues.
Yeah, that's not for every brother.
That's not for everybody.
That's not for every brother, man. I mean, when the scriptures say to covet gifts, which I'm gonna get into mm-hmm. that, you pray for the Lord to give you a lot that you can actually just carry through, mm-hmm. and in hopes of actually mastering it, so that you can be productive to the point of pleasing the Lord.
Right.
Whatever it is that He give you, you want to please Him in it. Mm-hmm. That's not saying this brother over here, he's doing this and that. He's that. So I want to do what that brother's doing. No, that's not what that's saying. Mm-hmm. Certain brothers got special gifts that's attributed to them. Mm-hmm.
And what's the difference? I mean, what good is it to have said, if me and this brother knew exactly everything the same? What good are we to each other?
Yeah, exactly.
But if he knows a certain level of things, and I know some of the same things, and I know a certain level of things, but we both have things we both don't. That the other one don't know, how much more powerful are we together? Mm-hmm. Because now we have a wider realm to cover.
Mm-hmm. And guess what? With both brothers doing two separate offices, but you're still
for the church of the body.
You're still helping build the church.
Mm-hmm. Does it say that in the beginning of that chapter?
What?
I think it says that in the beginning of that chapter. So my bad, but I think it says something just like this. Let me read it. 1 Corinthians 12 and 4. Now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. Mm-hmm. And there are differences of administrations, but the same Lord. Okay, and there are diversities of operations, but it is the same power, the same God, which worketh all in all. Okay? Mm-hmm. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit wherewithal, for everyone to profit, man. Not just this one guy. Yeah, he does profit in that, but for the body to fully profit. Okay? Mm-hmm. That was
and these are all things of the Spirit that brothers are sowing. Mm-hmm. That if you continuously abound in it, you're gonna reap for it.
That's right.
You put in your work and whatever office that you hold, hey, you're gonna get paid for that, man.
Yeah.
The Lord ain't gonna shortchange you.
That's right. He gonna, and if you do it to the level of his appeasing, he'll multiply it. All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So going back to verse 28, 29, it says, "Are all apostles? Are all prophets? Are all teachers? Are all workers of miracles?"
Yeah, everybody can't have all this power all at once. What good is that? Now we'll all be in the body of it, and it'll be protecting of all that are within that body. But that doesn't mean all 144,000 or in 1/3 people gonna have all the same powers and gifts and whatever else. When you watch these superhero or X-Men movies, they all don't have the same powers, but you collect or what's the Avengers or whatever the movie is, or what's the one of DC shit. Anyway, y'all know the superhero movies. When they come together, they have different things to do, different specialties. It's no different than this. Okay.
It says, "Have all the gifts of healing? Do all speak with tongues? Do all interpret?" Now, some brothers, you got special brothers that can do multiple. The Lord put them over, multiple gifts.
That's right.
Those are, special brothers. But hey, that's their lot, man. But just because you don't have as many, that doesn't make you any less important or significant, man.
The rest of this chapter kind of goes into that too. So we'll read that on your own, But the rest of the chapter goes into that though. I believe it was in that same chapter.
It says, "But covet earnestly the best gifts, and yet shew I unto you a more excellent way."
Right. And when you covet unto those best gifts, and that's the ones that are given to you. Okay, the ones that you can see being a benefit. Because like we're in the time of the pandemic, right? Wouldn't the gift of healing, if you were into the herbs, wouldn't that be one of the better gifts for you to be into? If you're in the stones, didn't finding the stone to help protect you, wouldn't that be a better gift to get into, especially in the time of now? And so on and so forth. Not just what looks good, but what is actually good and beneficial to us. So the same thing. You gotta covet after those things. You have something else?
And one of the major gifts, prophecy.
That's right.
The gift of prophesying, man.
Right.
And we're in the year of prophecy, and we see prophecy is happening. That's what we should definitely be mindful of. And the scriptures say that Sirach 30, I think 38 or 39, where it talks about being preoccupied with prophecy.
That's right.
That should be one of the main things that brothers are concerned with, man. Because it's through the prophecy that the Lord's gonna fulfill His word, and the quicker these prophecies come to pass, the sooner we'll get salvation, man. Because we know that's the last thing is after Jacob's trouble and the mark of the beast, the men of the Lord getting apprehended and whatnot, certain brothers getting beheaded. Right after that is the day of the Lord.
That's right.
Salvation.
That's right.
And that's all pertaining to prophecy. So that's why it's very important to get into it, man.
I'll hit it right quick. This is Sirach 39:1. It says, "But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies."
Yep. So that's one of the best gifts that you can have. I'm
going to read a little more about Kushal. It says, "He will keep the sayings of the renowned men," and where this is that goes into that list of virtue and all those other temperance and all of those. The example of how to acutely keep it or tightly keep it, because you see how the men that are written in this book that went through it before, how they kept it. And then the apostles' examples are always other great examples as well. Right? It says, "He will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also." Which we do have a parable to get into. It says, "He will seek out the secrets of grave sentences and be conversant in dark parables." So figuring out what some of these truly mean and how to deeper understand is how you're going to gain that wisdom to be beneficial to the body, not only to yourself but to the body in these times we're in. Brothers is talking about all types of ways to kill the coronavirus and the things to protect themselves from 5G and all types of wisdom that just it gets moved around. Okay? And how did they get that? They were occupied in this, and then they realized eventually prophecy say this is gonna happen. There are gonna be pestilences, there are gonna be food shortages, there's gonna be so on and so forth. And brothers are obtain those what did it say in that end of that script? The best gifts. They're going toward the best. They're coveting after the best gifts. Okay, you wanna go ahead?
It's
That was it on that.
It's 1 Corinthians 14 and 12.
Yep.
It says, "Even so, ye, for as much as you are zealous of spiritual gifts, seek that you may excel to the edifying of the church."
That's the point, that you edify everybody. Okay, not just for your own gift, that you may be exalted, but so the body is exalted in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
That's right. And let me jump up to verse.
I knew there was a couple of them in that chapter too.
Yeah, verse 1, it says, "Follow after charity and desire spiritual gifts, but rather that you may prophesy." Verse 3, "But he that prophesieth speaketh unto men to edification and exhortation and comfort. He that speaketh in an unknown tongue edifieth himself, but he that prophesieth edifieth the church."
That's right.
So, hey, the spirit of prophecy, that's one of the best gifts you can have, man.
That's right. And it's meant to, not just so you know it, but to be shared amongst the body.
Well, that's the purpose. You're supposed to prophesy to the people.
Because what if you catch the prophecy, or you can break it down, but a brother has to interpret it and put it into modern terms or to current events? It don't mean it was all given to you.
Hey, the spirit of prophecy is heavily on Great Millstone.
That's right.
You're going to see prophecy 24/7 when you come to our videos.
Yeah. That's not all you're going to see, but you're going to see that. You click on a Great Millstone video or page, or you come to Great Millstone, expect to prophesy. Okay? Because that's what this is about. If you don't have that type of spirit on you, Great Millstone is not for you. Okay?
That's right, man. And all the prophets of old, they finished their course and they died, doing the will of the Heavenly Father. Those same men, they're gonna be rewarded, man.
That's right.
All right, they're gonna be rewarded, for their works, and their works did follow them, because even to this very day, we read upon them.
That's right.
And
they're coming back in these times.
And they're back in this time, and they're doing their job now. We told Daniel, go and stand in thy lot, and then you'll I think Daniel the 12th chapter.
Yeah, that's right.
He basically told him to go, go stand in thy lot, and in the last days, you're gonna prophesy again. And the angel even told John the Revelator that he was going to prophesy again before multitude, tongues, nations, so on and so forth, man. So, hey, and it's a beautiful precept the brother posted up on the comment board, serving of the Most High, Ecclesiasticus, Sirach 33:17. "Consider that I labored not for myself only, but for all them that seek learning." That's
beautiful.
Right. That's right, man.
Beautiful. The water.
Yeah.
For posting that's in here beautifully.
Yeah. Hey, that's like going to was that 2 Timothy, where it says that we endure for the elect's sake. We're not doing this just for ourselves. We're a body, man.
When they talk about Paul watered Apollos, I forgot how it went.
Right.
But it wasn't about those individual men. It was about the edifying of the body of the church.
Right.
So we're not doing any of this. Paul didn't go on all them journeys just for himself to say, so I could be written of that I'm this great man. That's not what he did it for.
He didn't want to glory in that.
Nah, he wanted to push the word out fervently. Okay? You got something?
Yeah, 2 Timothy 2 and 10 says, "Therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain the salvation which is in the Mashiach Yahushua with eternal glory."
Yeah, it's the last verse of Daniel 12.
Daniel 12.
Yeah, I hit it right quick. It says, matter of fact, I start at 12 and 12. It says, "Blessed is he that waiteth and cometh to the 1,305 and 30 days, but go thou thy way until the end be. For thou shalt rest and stand in the lot at the end of the days.
Yeah. What is his lot? To prophesy.
That's right.
A prophet.
And he was pushing out a lot of prophecies as well. Okay.
No, Daniel, he had a heavy portion of the spirit. Yeah. He got to see the four beasts rise and fall.
Mm-hmm.
The whole timeline of biblical history.
Biblical history and captivity.
He called all that, man.
He caught the dream on it. Or actually Nebuchadnezzar had the dream, but he was able to interpret that dream.
Mm-hmm.
It shows a high level of power that was given unto him.
That's
the
it,
spirit. Man. So we should be seeking after the things, but we know not to seek the things that are too hard for us.
Right.
But the answers are there for men that it's not too hard for in these days. You can click on a Great Millstone video and find. I'm just, there's other camps that have these breakdowns, but click on a Great Millstone video, and you can get the understanding of some meat. If you really want to go deep, it's on the internet with Great Millstone. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I got one right quick. This is Matthew chapter 6. We'll start at verse 19. Of course, it says, "Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust do corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal," where this devil can kill you and take away your wisdom. That's not, or hoard you up. That's not what you want this for. Okay, where something that's temporal. Okay.
Are you talking about like material possessions?
Right. Don't worry about the material.
Worry about whips and
right.
Chains and Rolexes and shit.
But how spiritual is that? Instead of desiring those things, we making bead necklaces that have certain energies and healing properties and qualities to them. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is the things that are written in this book, that are written for our learning, that were written aforetime, written for our learning, that we can still apply today and use it in the power thereof. That you look at the rest of the world, particularly the 2/3 of our own people, that are not even thinking about it. Okay, it says, "But lay up for yourself treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust do corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." And our treasure should be our mind, which is the heart, should be focused on the kingdom of heaven, man, and doing what it takes to get there. Yeah. Okay, enduring the end till salvation.
Basically minding the things of the spirit. And getting away from the flesh. That's coming up more. How we need to be in an immortal mindset instead of a mortal mindset.
That's right.
Those of us that are in an immortal mindset, we can see everything for what it is. We see the bigger picture.
That's right.
We understand that we got to go through, straight gate. We got to go through peril. But at the end of that, we're going to come out of this thing, refined, built up, tested,
Mm-hmm.
And hey, we gonna receive what? Glory. So you want to be storing up, your spiritual riches to put in a spiritual treasury, so to speak.
That's right.
This is Sirach 29 and 11. It says, "Lay up thy treasure according to the commandments of the Most High, and it shall bring thee more profit than gold."
Yeah, the treasure, it may be wise to have hand sanitizer, but that's not the treasure we're worried about, because Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, they can heal you without it. Mm-hmm. We don't need hand sanitizer and N95 masks and the vaccine. We don't need those things to be healed, right, or to be protected. Okay? Mm-hmm. You have something else? More on that one?
No, that was it.
That was it.
I got about reaping sparingly.
You got it.
This is 2 Corinthians 9 and verse 6. And it says, let me start at 5. It says, "Therefore I thought it necessary to exhort the brethren that they would go before you and make up before your bounty, whereof you had noticed before that the same might be ready as a matter of bounty, not of covetousness. But this I say, he which soweth sparingly shall reap sparingly."
Yeah, if you don't bring to the table You're not going to, if you only bring a little bit, you're only going to get a little bit out of it. Okay, and we're not talking about if you come to eat. We're talking about wisdom. We're talking about the riches and the power that Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua will give to you. Okay?
Yeah, sowing sparingly, meaning, if you're being abstemious, about the labors that you're putting in, meaning you just, somebody that's stingy, I just like, I'm gonna just give a little bit, because, I have more to give, but, I'm just a niggard and I'm just gonna
I'd rather hold on to
I'd rather just hold on and just, you know,
yeah.
you know how Jay can be, man.
You know how our people
They're not gonna give according to, their strength.
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't want to be like that, man, because the Lord, he'll do the same to you. Oh, so that's all you want to give? All right, so when we get in the kingdom,
Mm-hmm.
I'll remember that, and then when you see brothers that got more, they got a higher position, they got a brighter glow,
Mm-hmm.
they got a bigger inheritance.
They got, you watch them on the battlefield, so to speak, and they
Yeah.
flying and shooting lasers and shit from their eyes. I'm being
Yeah.
a little overly, but imagine that super strength and shit. You see all the brothers having that type of stuff, and you be like, "Damn, how come I ain't got it?" Well, this is it. This is that moment where you didn't sew up enough to deserve that much to get back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how we got to be in, this ministry. Whatever gift that you have, hey man, sow it bountifully, man. I'm gonna read it again. It says,
Mm-hmm.
"He which soweth sparingly shall reap sparingly, and he which soweth bountifully shall reap bountifully."
Mm-hmm.
And like the brother said, whatever you put in, you'll get back.
Mm-hmm. You're not
Right?
just doing this for nothing. Like Peter asked Yahweh Shai, he's like, we put away all these things and followed you, what therefore shall we have? And he basically in a nutshell said, I'm gonna put you up on high, judging the people, the 12 on the 12 thrones of Israel, I'm doing that, and you're gonna have what he said after that, you're gonna have 100-fold. Okay? And that's what you want. You saw Job endured, and he stayed wise. Like, nope, I don't care what I go through. I'd be stupid to move away from my maker. I'm staying with it, no matter what he do. Though he slay me, right? Though he slay me. How's the rest of that go?
Yeah, I will put my trust.
Yeah, I'll put my trust in him. Okay, come.
This is Galatians 6 and verse 7. It says, "Be not deceived, God is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." Mm-hmm. So even if you sow to yourself, you doing a lot of carnal shit, don't marvel if evil shit come back on you, because you're just serving your flesh all the damn time. Like if you overeating, you just all you doing is just constantly eating and eating and eating. Eventually, that shit is gonna backfire.
Exactly.
You're gonna feel all jacked up in the flesh, man.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're gonna be, hey brothers, pray for me, and you brothers know, what. And I'm not saying, because we in the flesh, you're gonna get infirmities,
right?
But sometimes that it could
you
be something that you're doing
to yourself. Yeah, you haven't switched. You're not being wise about how you, like Apostle Har says, all the times that every 3 or 4 months he does a digestive cleanse, a total body cleanse on the inside, and it's just a healthy and wise thing to do every once in a while. Because we try to do daily and keep it tight as far as what we eat, but we can't. We're in captivity. We can't fully keep only alkaline water and only organic fruits and vegetables, and we don't always have that. So we just got to do the best we can, and sometimes you got to do those other things. You might have to take supplements or whatever else it may be, but you try to do the best you can, and those cutbacks will be available for you, because the Heavenly Father is not going to put you in the corner where all you got is bad food to eat. He's going to put you in a situation to where you have options. There's a bunch of negative options, but there's always at least one righteous option that you can take. And the wisdom of what will guide you to that righteous option. Okay?
Is back in Galatians 6:8 it says, "For he that soweth to the flesh shall reap of the flesh corruption, but he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting."
Here it is.
And let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not.
Right. In due season we shall reap and faint not. We're going to get the fruits of our labors back. We're going to get those things. Okay.
I got one more.
Yeah.
Sirach 6:19 it says, "Come unto her as
in
one that
chapter.
ploweth and soweth, and wait for her good fruits. For thou shalt not toil much in laboring about her, but thou shalt eat of her fruits right soon."
That's right. Hey, and they right now, the fruits of wisdom, we're able to apply these things already with the pestilence out there. And then we know the mind of the people. We're starting to see, we already know what the mind of the people was going to do. We're seeing that I'm not going to my woman ain't going to the store by herself. Her and my kids, I'm not letting them out like that. I'll go. Right? Simple things like that are just more wise than the rest of the people. You go to a grocery store, fucking 3-year-old, 5-year-old, 7-year-old, and a fucking grandma in the store with a cart full of groceries. You already knowing Jake gonna begin to they've already on a low level begun it to just start robbing people for stuff. Who's gonna protect that grandmother and all them groceries that she's bringing back? If they got them level of kids, them young age kids, where them kids gonna who's gonna protect them? Okay, who's gonna protect the food for the rest of that family that them people belong to? And it's just simple common sense stuff, most of it, but a lot of it is wisdom that you can gain to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, basically you can tell the difference because we're not bothered by what's going on in the world because we already know what time it is.
Right.
And we always meditate on these scriptures and have it in mind when we come into these type of times. Make not haste in a time of trouble. Constantly endure, set your heart right. Make not haste in the time of trouble. Be patient when the Lord bring you to a lower state.
And this is a lower state.
Yeah, and we're even in this condition. It seems like it's still a benefit to us, even though it's not to the world.
That's right.
Because we're still able to have this idle time to continue to sow unto the Spirit.
Because what Jake doing? Jake beating the video games.
Jake is in their flesh.
Yeah.
And it's
Jake
bugging them
out
out
they liquor,
that they're being starved or depraved of their fleshly activities that they normally indulge in.
Yeah, I can't. Hey, look, Jake. I can't go to the park and play. I can't light niggas up with jumpers. I can't. Jake think of all the world.
You can't go to the game. You can't go.
The Lakers about to win the championship, and I can't watch it.
You can't go to that fight party.
You can't go to that club. You can't go to that bar.
That hookah lounge, and
yeah.
All that BS, man.
And did we enjoy some of those? Yeah, I was saying, did we enjoy some of those things in our leisure time? Yes, of course. But now that they're cut off, we don't give a shit.
Yeah, because we
knew it was gonna end anyway. We don't give a shit.
It's like the Lord basically he just cut out the fleshly.
And what is this? Galatians.
He just cut it all off. So we're actually in our right element right now.
Yeah, now we're starting to make a lot more sense.
Yeah.
To y'all, we look like bug outs when the world was on its on its full tilt. Now we're looking like you have more. We're looking like we're like the wisest men in the world. Is it right here? Where it says, "Mortify ye your members."
Yeah, that's
Galatians
5.
5. I'm looking to see. Let me get it right quick.
There's also one in Colossians 3.
That's the one I was thinking. It's Colossians, but it should be right here in the 5th chapter.
Or is it Ephesians?
Ephesians.
It might be Ephesians 5.
I'm going to just go to one Colossians. I knew that one was that. Bear with us one moment. Well, that was the point. We quoted it, bro. And mortify ye your members upon earth, man. Don't be out here following after your flesh. Mortify means morte or life or your flesh, man. Okay, the mortal nature. We're that's why we're moving toward the immortal nature. Okay, of exalting our spirit. And how do you exalt your spirit? Through the wisdom, and that's what gets you closer to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua.
Exalting the things of the spirit.
The things of the spirit come. You got it.
That's pretty much it.
I'm gonna hit the parable. We can close out after that. I just want to touch on this parable. I'm gonna jump around it a little bit. This is the parable of the talents in Matthew 25, and I'm gonna start at 14. It says, "For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. And unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey." And Yahweh left, but the Spirit is still out there for us to follow after, to gravitate to, and to build upon. All right? Let me see if I could jump to the good part. No, keep reading. It says, then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded the same and made them other 5 talents. He doubled up. And likewise he that had received 2, he also gained other 2. But he that had received 1 went and digged in the earth and hid the Lord's money. And after a long time, the Lord of those servants cometh and reckoned with them. He said, and so he that had received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained beside them 5 talents more. His Lord said to him, Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. Right? You see how that's exponentially given back unto you? You know, you did a good job with a little bit I gave you. You multiplied upon it. You added to it. Hey, let me hook you up with something more. Okay? Watch what it continues to say.
Reap bountifully.
Right? Quoting what you read earlier. It says, he also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents beside them. His Lord said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. That's enter into this rest. Enter into my chamber. You know, all those other analogies that go right into this, okay? Mm-hmm. That salvation, the kingdom of heaven, all of those things that go with this. Okay? That's what the parables likened unto. Verse 24 said, Then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew that thou art an hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathered where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid and went and hid thy talent in the earth. And he didn't show his faith. He closed it up and hid it. He didn't show that he had faith, and so he thought he was going to lose the talent. But that's not what the Lord gave us these so-called talents for. You know, gave us the Spirit for. It was to reap more unto the body, unto the Lord. And then what did he do? He multiplied it unto those that did the right thing. Yep. Watch what he does unto him that didn't, right? It says, and I was afraid and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there has that in thine, that is thine. Yep, it's already what you gave me. I'm giving it back to you. His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knowest that I reap where I sowed not, and gather where I have not strawed. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received mine own with usury.
Man, I should have got interest on this.
I
should have got return on my investment with interest.
Man, I gave it to you.
What the hell is this?
And isn't that what these loan sharks and shit want? Mm-hmm. You go to a payday loan spot, okay, they break bread, but then they want that bread back and they want a percentage of interest back. Mm-hmm. Okay? That happens everywhere. Why would the Lord not want the same thing? And he's not asking for cash. You know, he's asking for things of the Spirit. Mm-hmm. You know? I showed you how to break this down. What you got out of that? I showed you how to use this wisdom. What can you do out of that? What can you build spiritually out of that? Okay. It says, take therefore the talent from him and give it to him that have 10 talents. For everyone that have shall be given, and he that have abundance. Let me read it again. For unto every one that have shall be given, and he that shall have abundance. But from him that have not shall be taken away even that which he have.
Most I'll blow that candlestick up.
Man, we'll empty out your oil in your lamp, man.
Yep.
We've seen it happen already. And these are the times that you don't want to run out of oil in your lamp, man.
This
is when you need. This is the darkest hours.
With
that candle, you're gonna need that candle light lit, man.
Yeah.
To see. Yeah. And I don't mean see with your eyes, man. You know. It says, last verse. It says, and cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Hey, because the scriptures do say riches profit not in the day of wrath, right? But storing this treasure actually does appease the Most High.
The fear of the Lord is his treasure. If you were scared, like he said, like the unprofitable servant was, he would have took it to the exchanges and really made dividends grow on that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that was just something that first was given to me through the Spirit about myself, and it felt like the right thing to do to pass that on to some that may be going through the same thing. And now is that time to make sure that you're coveting these treasures of the Spirit, man. Okay, because it's easy now. The apostles said it. Back in the day, they were like, we have to go down to the libraries and break this stuff down. Our elders have to go and find these books and break the information down. That stuff that we just Google now and get it within seconds. They took months and years to gain the information and the knowledge and the wisdom of it that we can Google. And while this Google and the Internet of Things is open, we have to use it to the advantage. This man is going to shut it down. Understand, Esau has to shut this shit down. And if he's out there because we're quarantined putting out 5G or whatever this man is out here doing, he ain't going to leave us on the same internet like we've been. This World Wide Web the same way. He's going to push out a bunch of shit and he's going to begin to control it all. He's already starting that process. We can foresee the evil that's coming. Okay, now you have to hide yourself. How do you hide yourself? Immerse yourself in gaining and covering after the treasures of the Spirit. Okay, that's how you protect yourself in these times. You won't be worried about, what am I going to do? My Netflix account just got canceled. You ain't going to worry about that. I got the scriptures. There ain't no better story on Netflix than that is in the scriptures. That's where these movies come from. So we must take this time wisely and use it wisely, man, while we're in it. All right? And the best way to do it, the most fruitful gaining way is to cover spiritual treasures. Okay? You got anything else you want to speak on about it?
Well, that's pretty much squared up.
And that's what it is. The water for y'all for logging in with us and sharing within the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua with us. We have to give all praise and glories unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua B'Shem HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at the great millstone. Greetings, salutations, and blessings unto your elect. Shalom unto you.
Shalom. Yeah, I think you just exit, bro.
Oh, okay, yeah, I don't know how to do it.
It started all over, so yeah.
Come.